So you've recently gone to your doctor trying to explain these physical symptoms that you're experiencing. They may have even referred you to a couple of specialists. And while you're explaining these physical symptoms, their doctors are definitely concerned, but when they do lab work and when they're trying to figure out what's going on, they realize there's nothing wrong, that everything is fine. And what they do is they label you with anxiety. Now, you've grown up thinking anxiety is all in your head. So how can anxiety create such physical symptoms? In fact, you may not even be anxious a lot of the times. So why are you experiencing these symptoms? Well, what I want to talk about in this video is how anxiety is not just all in the head, it's actually very physical. What I want to talk about in this video is why anxiety creates such physical symptoms, and more importantly, what to do to make this go away once and for all so you don't have any more physical symptoms, or you don't have any more anxiety and you can just go back to living. So pay attention. So before I get into all the symptoms that anxiety can produce, I remember when I was struggling with debilitating anxiety, I was experiencing such bizarre physical symptoms that I was convinced it wasn't anxiety. I was like, no, this is something serious, and if the doctors aren't finding it, by the time they find out, it's just gonna be too late. Like, we need to get to the bottom of this. My biggest symptom was feeling nauseous. And I remember I would go to these doctors, and the doctors would just do all this lab work, and they would like look back at me and they say, Shaan, you're fine. There's nothing wrong. And I was like, man, why can't they just get to the bottom of this? And they would just keep saying it was anxiety. And I remember when they used to say anxiety, I used to think, well, they're just saying it's all in my head, but like I'm feeling nauseous, like I'm feeling sick, like I'm not feeling good. And I had an array of physical symptoms. I was feeling nauseous, I had this headband feeling, I was clenching my jaw, I was having terrible morning anxiety, but for me, nausea was the biggest symptom. And the first thing to really understand is that this idea that anxiety is kind of all in the head is partly true, but also not really true. See, anxiety isn't just about being nervous. It's not about just being concerned or worried about something. Anxiety, to its fundamental core, is about survival. See, anxiety is more about what we call this fight or flight response. Anxiety is more focused on keeping you alive. So what happens is that typically, as we kind of evolved as humans, our typical predator, like the things that would concern us the most were predatory, like things like lions or snakes or something out to actually get us. So what happened was that our bodies have created like this fight or flight response. It's an innate response that essentially makes us fight a threat or run away from a threat. And so what happens is that our bodies kind of change physiologically during this threat. And so what happens is that anxiety creates these physical symptoms that are very, very strong. So it's really easy to think that, oh, okay, well, anxiety is just me being nervous before, this video, but it's more than that. Anxiety is more about survival. So what you're experiencing is not just mental kind of symptoms, but very physical symptoms as well. You start experiencing palpitations, dizziness, nausea, vertigo. You start experiencing all these things. Now, the thing that's really interesting here is that it's one thing to experience these symptoms when you're actually under threat. But what happens when you're not experiencing any threat, when there's nothing to be worried about? What happens is that the fear of the symptom becomes essentially the fight or flight response in itself. And what I mean by that is the fear of the symptom is what's keeping it alive. So for me, just feeling nauseous was getting me concerned, was getting me worried. I started having anxiety about just being nauseous. I kept thinking, well, what if it's this, but what if it's that? But what if the doctors missed something? And then I went on Google, and Google would say something else. And then I would go on these forums, and forums would talk about people struggling with it even longer than me. And I was like, what's happening? Why are these people still struggling? Am I just gonna be like one of these people where no one can figure out what's wrong with me and I'm just gonna have to live with this forever? So what was happening was that I was actually making myself more and more anxious. And so on one part, I was feeling like the nausea was actually creating my anxiety, but in fact, it was the opposite. My anxiety was creating the nauseous symptoms. And once I focused on the anxiety, all the nausea ended up disappearing. Now for me, it was nausea. For you, it may be something else. It may be dizziness, palpitations, vertigo. It may be sweating. It may be whatever, the headband sensation. If you had to list out every single symptom that anxiety can produce, I mean, it would be an encyclopedia. I mean, the symptoms never end. So the first thing to understand is if you really want to know, okay, well, if it's anxiety or if it's something else, the best way to do it is just by getting it ruled out by your doctor. Doctors are very, very good at diagnosing and seeing if whatever's causing your issues is physical in nature. Now, if it's not physical in nature and the doctors are clearing you, that's a great sign. That means it's anxiety, and that means you can focus on that and you can get that fixed. So the first things first is to throw all your symptoms under the anxiety umbrella. Get everything ruled out by your doctor and make sure that everything is clear. Once that's the case, what that really tells you is that even though you're experiencing physical symptoms, the cause of it is not physical. The cause of it is this fight or flight response. The cause of it is anxiety. So if you fix the anxiety, all these symptoms disappear, all of them. The rule of thumb to really look at is, well, what symptoms did you have before you have anxiety, before you had your first panic attack? What symptoms were you experiencing? If you're experiencing those symptoms, that may be a different topic, but if you started experiencing all this after anxiety, then there's a very good chance it's all anxiety. So just to recap, the first thing to really focus on is getting everything ruled out by your doctor. So once you get a clean bill of health, then this is typically where I get questions where, okay, Shaan, like I understand all my symptoms being physical, but I have this one symptom that is absolutely terrifying me that is way too strong to be anxiety. And for me, in fact, I had the same thing. For me, it was being nauseous. For you, maybe dizziness, and maybe nausea, maybe palpitations, and maybe vertigo. I mean, like, if you had to write out every single symptom that anxiety can create that's physical, I mean, it would be an encyclopedia. It would be an encyclopedia that never ends. So remember, if you really want to know, is this anxiety or is this something else? Just getting it ruled out by your doctor tells you. If your doctor says there's nothing to worry about, then it's anxiety. Now that you're focusing on anxiety, it's really important to understand how anxiety works, how anxiety can create such physical symptoms. So what happens is that people have no problems kind of putting all their physical symptoms under the anxiety umbrella, except for maybe one symptom. And this is typically the most scariest symptom. For me, I was concerned that what if the nausea was the onset of something else, maybe an autoimmune condition or maybe some sort of like digestive issue. And for me, that terrified me. I didn't want that. So for me, that was the scariest symptom. For you, it could be something else. So it's very important, first things first, put everything under the anxiety umbrella. Put every single symptom, even the most debilitating symptom. The next step is really to focus on, okay, well, how does anxiety create all these physical symptoms? How does something that's not anything physically wrong with you create such strong physical symptoms? Well, in order to understand that, you have to understand what we call the fight or flight response. This is an innate mechanism designed to protect you. And what happens is that because it's designed for survival, you start experiencing physiological changes that really terrify you. So you have to understand when you're experiencing this fight or flight response, your body's changing actually a lot. You start experiencing rapid heartbeats. You may start experiencing blood flow going to the muscle groups. You just experience a lot of different symptoms. In fact, every single symptom can be explained by this fight or flight response. And so in order to understand a little bit more about how anxiety creates physical symptoms, you really have to understand the mechanics. And so if you want to know how does anxiety create physical symptoms, I'll put a link down below to a private report. This is exactly what I do to show individuals how to fully come out of anxiety. This is exactly what I use for my recovery, and this is exactly what I use to help others overcome too. And before we even get them to start overcoming, the first thing we do is help them understand how anxiety creates these physical symptoms. So I put a link down below. It's absolutely free. It's yours. I've worked very hard on this report, really trying to highlight and explain why this is happening. And the reason why I've done that is because I know I'm not going to be able to help everyone in the world in terms of like my mentorship program, but that doesn't mean just because I can't help you in the mentorship program that you don't get help, or that you don't, like, you at least understand what's happening. That's the whole point of this channel. That's the whole point of this report. So the link down is below, so definitely check it out. So the last thing to really focus on is how to make these anxiety symptoms go away. So remember, the first thing is really identifying, is it anxiety or is it not? And the way to do that is just by getting everything ruled out by your doctor. Once everything's ruled out, then you can throw it under the anxiety umbrella. The The second thing is to really understand the mechanics of anxiety, which that report's really gonna help you understand how does anxiety create such physical symptoms. Then the last thing to really do is focus on making these symptoms go away. Now, typically what you've done is you've tried to do something to make these physical symptoms go away. But the truth is that whatever's causing this isn't really physical in nature, right? Like we talked about, it's that fight or flight response. The focus now is actually to allow the symptoms to be there. Here's why. Because as you're focusing on anxiety, once you focus on anxiety, all the symptoms disappear. Focusing on anxiety and fixing the anxiety is different than fixing a headache or fixing something else physically wrong with you. Focusing on anxiety is you just allow it to be there. See, once you allow it to be there, let's say for me it was being nauseous, I just allowed myself to feel nauseous and I just continued on with my day. And what was happening is that I was feeling nauseous, but I started losing the fear of being nauseous. What that did is that it told my fight or flight response, my anxiety, that there's actually no threat. There's nothing to worry about. You know, you're in this fight or flight mode, but there's no threat. Shaan's not responding in fear. He's allowing it to be there. And so what that does is that tells your nervous system, calm down. You don't need to be in this fight or flight mode. And then what that does is that actually lifts it. As the fight or flight response lifts, ironically, your physical symptoms end up disappearing. See, you're used to try to fix your physical symptoms directly, but when it's anxiety, you have to fix the physical symptoms indirectly. When you fix the anxiety, that fixes the physical symptoms. So the best bet is just allow it to be there, all your symptoms, and continue on living. A lot of people think overcoming anxiety is like overcoming the flu, right? You get the flu, so you stay at home for a few days, and then once you get better, you go back to work. Anxiety is the opposite. Go back to living while you're experiencing these physical symptoms. These physical symptoms, A, won't hurt you, B, aren't indicative that there's something physically wrong with you, otherwise you would have figured that out with your doctor, but it's just the idea of just allowing it to be there. And if the physical symptom is just too strong and just too debilitating, then tolerate it to be there. But don't try to fix this. Don't try to analyze this. Don't try to understand or feel sorry for why this is happening to you. This doesn't work, and this doesn't help you long term. Allowing it to be there, giving it as much space as it needs, and focusing on true freedom, focusing on regaining your life, this is what leads to long-term freedom. Are you gonna feel good in the moment? No. Are you gonna feel good in the short term? No. But what this does is that this leads to long-term freedom. This is how people get out. Most people try to focus on coping or managing. So if you really want to know more about how to get out of this once and for all, what I'll do is I'll put a link down below. This is a link to my free Facebook group. In this group, I'm posting exclusive content that I haven't posted on any other social media platform. There's plenty of success stories in there. There's people that I've personally helped myself that are now helping other members in the group. These guys are really interested and invested in helping others get out of this fully. So if that's you, hit the link down below. When you hit the link, it's gonna ask you 3 questions. It's very important that you answer these 3 questions to the best of your ability. We want people in the group, but we're also trying to maintain the integrity of the group. You've been on anxiety forums. You've seen how toxic it can get, how much fear-mongering they could be. We don't want this Facebook group to be focused on that. We really want people to fully overcome and go back to living. So if that's you, hit the link down below. I'll see you inside.